It's Raquel. Welcome back to my channel. This is Recovery to Wellness, where survivors radiate badassery. It is currently February 3rd, 2024, and I haven't filmed like a solid talking video in a long time. I feel like I've said that recently too, but maybe that was the last video that I uploaded onto my channel. But yeah, we're at the library and it's really quiet. And also, I got new glasses. These are my new spare glasses. So they're very fancy, and I don't know how well you'll be able to see, but that's like the side of them. Kind of looks like that. I don't know. You probably can't see it, but it has like grooves in it. And it's like this pinkish kind of color. I don't know how well you can see that, but I am also blind without my glasses, so I couldn't really see what I was doing anyway. So I'm here to do some art, actually work-related art, and I'm gonna try to film this as a life update kind of thing, some talking. I haven't filmed a video on my webcam on my computer in a very, very long time, and yeah, so things are going. Life is going, and so I just want to kind of talk for a little bit, I guess. So this week I've already actually uploaded a video for the week, one video, because I do 1 to 2 uploads every week. So I did one on Wednesday, which was actually from 6 months ago. Well, actually, I guess a little bit longer than that, because I think I filmed it in June and I uploaded it when it was still January, right? Yeah. So about 6 months ago, kind of just talking about the different. It actually filmed it at the library, and I talked about the different career kind of options and stuff that I at the time was thinking about. So that was interesting, and the last time I filmed on my webcam on my laptop, there was a weird sound to it. It was really bothering me, so I have never edited that video yet. Hopefully that's not happening on this right now, but if it is, I guess we'll have to deal with it. And the last time I filmed on my filming camera, I did a photo film shoot. I also just got myself, a couple weeks ago, I got myself my first ever phone tripod, so that's really exciting. I haven't put it all together yet. I have the thing, but I haven't put it all together, and I haven't used it yet, but I did get that. I had done, second time it's so significant, I did a photo film shoot kind of thing. I did photos on my phone, I did some photography on my filming camera, and then also some video stuff and things like that, so it was really, really fun. Some of the phone shots were really great. I still have to put that footage from my filming camera onto my laptop. I have the phone stuff already on my laptop, but I'm just a little bit delayed in the camera part of it. I haven't touched my camera in probably about a month-ish. Maybe 3 weeks. I don't know. What else? Been working so much. I'm still getting used to, I think I'm still getting used to working 40 hours. And it's definitely going to be a process, because this is the first time I've ever worked 40 hours in my life, and I'm 30, so, and luckily it is a job that I enjoy. This last week I haven't actually read a book, at all this week, so I do have to get back into that. I don't know, so many things, right? I guess this is just how my life has been lately. It's just that there's so many things and all this stuff. But to finish with the 40-hour stuff, yeah, I've been working 40 hours and I'm feeling it. I am feeling it now, Mr. Krabs. I think lately, this past week, it's just been more of how do I get everything that I need to get done at work, while at work, rather than carrying it over into my life outside of work. Because definitely, after I work, I don't want to, think about work. I work primarily 9:30 to 5:30. So I go to work, do my work stuff, and then when I get home, I just want to just turn my brain off for a little while, listen to some the podcast The Basement Yard with Joe Santagato and Frankie Alvarez, and I'll just listen to that and stuff and watch that. And then it's like really difficult for me to get back into like, oh, I should like prepare for like a new group kind of thing. I did finish a new group recently, which was great. It went okay, but I'm hoping it will be better in the future because there weren't that many people there. But because I've been avoiding making new groups and such too, so a lot of avoidance lately. Well, some avoidance and then like some like other like not so much avoidance. I don't know, but yeah, like I just when I get out of work, I don't want to do any more work, but then that's kind of tricky because then the next day at work I might not be able to do everything that I want to do in a sense. So and then there's just little like things and stuff to do or like to check up on or start new things for work and stuff, and I'm like, I don't have the time. And it's like, oh no, but I'm still figuring it out. So that basically work stuff is I'm figuring it out. It's an imperfect process and it's gonna take some time before I fully figure it out. But I have to just give myself grace and, kind of that learning curve period. I think it was this week, honestly. I spoke with my bosses and stuff, and so I was able, adversity, I was able to apply to the 40-hour position. So for what you guys will need to know in a sense, right, is that there's Althea, which is where I've worked the past like 2 years or so, and then there's Althea 2. So like there's multiple Altheas in the world in a sense. Maybe not the whole world, but in Massachusetts there's multiple Altheas in a sense. And there's Althea 2, which is actually where I trained a year ago, but went back to Althea and just did work primarily there. But the way it's been phrased to me is that they're trying to find coverage for all 3 units. So there's Althea, which has the setting of it's like a general psych unit, because I work at a psych hospital. And so it's a general unit, so it's everybody from like depression, anxiety, like a lot of like trauma stuff. And we don't like go into that, but trauma, eating disorders, substance use disorders, psychosis, personality disorders. It's all mixed. So there's like 30 people. And then there's Althea 2, which has one unit which is just depression and anxiety, and another unit that is just psychosis, for what we're kind of considering, and it's an adult psych unit. So I haven't trained there since I got trained for the position, the group leader position, about a year ago. 40-hour position kind of thing. Just how it kind of works out is that they want not only for me as a full-time staff, but even just for all the per diems, which I was per diem as the group leader for the last like year-ish, right? Except I just consistently worked, like, started as 3 days and it was 4 days, and then this month it became 5 days. Well, not this month, last month, but so the way they phrased it is like everybody's going to start floating. If there's extra staff on Althea, they'll move them over to Althea 2, and then they'll swap, kind of back and forth. So essentially, I have to get used to now working at the other location, and just kind of getting familiar with that. I'm most nervous about working with like purely psychosis, because even though genuinely I have been doing that already, like as a general unit, and if I can make groups for just like the people in, we'll say track C, because I think I've mentioned that before to you guys, track C versus track A. If I can do track C, which I can, right? And then, because track C, if you can do it for track C, you can pretty much even do it more in depth for track A in a sense, right? But this is like the tracks in a sense were already split, because it's 2 separate units. But I'm so much more worried for like the psychosis one. I don't know why. But because I've been doing it for so long, so it's like I don't really like, if I can do it at Althea, I can do it at Althea too, kind of thing. But for whatever reason, I'm still like, and then I'm also like, I'm nervous about if the computers are like printer specific, like how they are at Althea 2, because at Althea it's like if I hop onto this computer A, right, and then I set it up, the printer is for printer 2, right? And then I hop on computer B. I have to like manually put it in. It won't like automatically know that printer 2 kind of thing. So I have to like, it's just like some like technical kind of stuff, technology based stuff. So I'm nervous about that, and then I'm also like, I have to like figure out the unit and stuff, and like get other keys, and like just do all these things. And it's like, right now at the end of like yesterday and like Thursday, I'm like, okay, I just want to like fast forward to next week, because I'm over there at Althea too, like Thursday, Friday. I'm like, I just want to fast forward to next week and already be doing it, and like just get into it, like let's get it, let's go, you know, like I don't want to wait the whole time, like I just want to like hurry up and do it, and like just see what it's like, is it what I'm expecting, is it not, and like how do I, you know, overcome that, how do I face these challenges, how do I be more flexible, because I'm also like very like, some of my coworkers they can get ready with group material like 20 minutes in advance of the group itself, like the time to run the group, and I'm not like that. I'm like super like, I have to, because our first group at Althea is at like 11:15, right, like for first group, so I at like 10:30 have to be like done with like my stuff, like printed it all out, like there's enough copies, I have to, between like 10:30 and like 10:45 or so, I'm reading over my material again to like refamiliarize myself with it, because if I don't do that and I don't read over my script and stuff, I won't remember, and it won't come out as well as it could be, kind of thing. So I have to be done, like if it's at like 11:15, I have to be done by like 10:45, because also what happens if the printer like decides to not, because that's happened, and it's like, and if I'm already at like 80% or 60% and I'm not at 100% that day, like that's just gonna like, it's gonna be like a nuclear war rather than just like a lit match in a sense. So it's like, I have to just do it in a certain way by a certain time, kind of thing. Like I'm just super like that. What else? So that's kind of how work's going like that. Not feeling like there's enough time in the day to do all the things, not wanting to do that much stuff outside of work, not at work. I think I'm even going to update my, I have a comment that someone wrote on my last video that I should reply to. I also have to reply to a bunch of Reddit messages. I should send a message to one of my friends from an old support group, because I've been thinking about them a lot. What is her name? I think I gave her a female name. I don't remember. But so I should reach out to some people and reply back to people. And the thing I'm going to be doing in the next video, still just like smorgasbord, but I have this. I have all my hoo-hoo markers in there and some other stuff. And I'm going to be filming myself doing some word interpretation art, because I wanted to do art group yesterday as the word interpretation art, but I didn't have many examples, because I have like my own stuff, but it has like my signature on it, so I'm like, I don't really want to share that with the patients. So I needed to make some examples, but I didn't have time to do that before yesterday, like, because I got in, yesterday was my late day, so it was like 11:30 to 8 pretty much, which I didn't leave until like 9, so it's a whole other story. But I clocked out before then, but I was there for a while. So I wanted to do some word interpretation art, like some, like, you know, like the purposeful, or like, I don't know if I showed you commitment, but that was one that I did. Purposeful, like the commitment one, I think there was another one. Like kind of like the avoidance monster, that kind of thing, that kind of art stuff. Like I want to just do that for like words, like purposeful or like intentional, and like, things like that. So what I'm going to film in the next video is going to be just that. It's just going to be me working with my hoo-hoo markers to create some art-related examples for future group use, because I'm hoping to do this group tomorrow. So that is that. I was thinking about updating in my video descriptions that I work what days I'm free, just to kind of get it, because in the boundaries, because I think I mentioned like in my boundaries that I'm not available between 9 p.m. and 9 a.m. and days I work. So I just want to like add like I'm off work Wednesday and Saturday, just kind of make it a little bit easier. Like I could probably respond to things like later in the evening on the days I work 9:30 to 5:30, but just FYI, just to be more clear on updates and stuff. So then books. I haven't read a book, but I read 2 books in January, which is huge. I could film a whole other video, which I probably will at some point. Film a whole other video just on that because that's amazing. I read 1 book in 5 days, and I read another book, which I have right here, in 2 days, which is like amazing because I haven't read a book in less than a week in probably like 5 years. So that's huge. And I read 2 of them, so it was really great. So one of them right now I'm working on an imperfect review for the blog, and imperfect because I've outlined the sort of skeleton of it on my blog at the end of a new post, and it's imperfect. So actually, this is Musings on My Career. I did the video description in this notebook, and then here it's imperfect because the Uhuhu markers kind of bleed through the paper a bit. So I have the blue is this page and then the green is on the back. So it just kind of bled through a bit. But I'm saying imperfect means that at least it's getting done, and maybe make it a little bit challenging for myself to have to read through it later. But it's imperfect for that, so that is good. So the first one, which is from that review, is this book, Keep It Simple, which is actually a business book. First time I've ever read a business book. It was interesting. I'd say like it only got better like halfway of the way in it. And then I have this book that I have to start reading very soon. I barely started it, but I do have to start reading it because it's due next, back in March. And then I have about 10 books out from the library right now, including the 2 that I finished reading. The other one I have at home. So I have to work on that because I do want to do the video book reviews for them before I fully, at least film them before I fully like return the books and then upload the reviews, the video reviews later. I haven't read it all this week though. I have not done any reading. Maybe that's why I'm feeling so like exhausted or just blah, you know, I don't know. Something to keep in mind. I've been doing like little kind of like weekly things. I'm making one for next week. Honestly, I'll end this video in like 3 minutes or so because it's almost 12. And I only have this room until 1:30. And the library closes at 2. Thoughts. Final thoughts. How do we want to wrap up this video? I mean, I guess the big takeaways are like, I don't have it figured out right now, and yet I will at some point. And like, it's okay that that's a process and that it's imperfect because well, hold on. I was gonna say imperfect done. Well, I mean that's also true. Imperfect and done is better than perfect and unfinished. I also did finish reading actually the workbook, the Warrior's Guide for Overcoming Procrastination. I finished reading that book in January as well, which is the first ever workbook I finished, so it was very good. It took me like over 6 months to do it, but. And then I guess like imperfect done is better than perfect unfinished, and an experience can be imperfect and still be worthy of being experienced and explored. So I'm trying to embrace more imperfection in my life and just kind of like accepting that a bit. And I think acceptance in all of its forms can be more of an ongoing process. So like there are times where I may wake up and I'm not accepting of the situation, or I am going to be harder on myself. And just accepting that that might happen and that that's okay and I can have space for that and still go about the rest of my life and such is what's really most important. That's been a theme that's been coming up in groups and stuff lately. I also really want to work on a couple of my groups so that I can finish them. I might try to do one of them, new ones tomorrow, if I can do that. And then I think also it's a very imperfect thing of how I'm using my time too, because like sometimes I'm just doing like this last week only doing like online stuff versus like reading books and stuff beforehand. So I don't know, but it'll all be figured out at some point. It's just I'm not there yet, and that can be annoying or irritating, and you know, it is what it is kind of thing. So I'm going to get into the next video because we're going to do the markers and drawing, coloring, all of that jazz, interpretation, art, and yeah, this is that video. So I don't know how much you got out of it, but hopefully you got something out of it. And as always, stay safe. Thank you so much for watching. Much love and light to you. And I will see you in another video. I'm considering uploading another video for today, like for this week, but I don't know if that'll actually happen or not. But in case it does, huzzah! And if it doesn't, try again next week kind of thing. So thanks for watching. If you liked this video or you want to see my other content, consider subscribing, because I've been at the range of 100 subscribers for the last 4 years. So if it could start to move up a little bit more, that'd be great. Sometimes it does, and then I lose someone, and then I'm like, oh, I don't know why. So it just happens. Adieu, thank you, bye.
I can see a lighthouse through the smoke. Everything is lost, I know.